Hello, folks. I'm OdinSpack, and welcome back to 33 years and counting of my favorite games. Last time, we went over the rules on how I selected all of the games for this list, as well as my 2022 games. Now, 2022 is still ongoing, but it was part of the Twitter trend to also list 2022. So I did that. It may change in the future, but right now, not a big deal. Not worrying about it. We're going to get on with 2021. I did want to mention one thing real fast. Last time, I feel like I didn't really go over super in depth about why I particularly liked a game from 2022. And I think that kind of boils down to the year's still going, and I'm not really sure if those are my favorites. For sure, like I said, that could change. I do want to quickly just errata, and I guess this is spoilers for part one, that I really do think Shredder's Revenge is possibly one of the best beat 'em ups of all time. So I think it would at least be top three regardless if of all the games released in 2022. I really did enjoy it. I also wanted to mention that I literally only have played 4 games of 2022. That doesn't mean all of my honorable mentions will be every single game I've played in a particular year. All of my honorable mentions are, hey, I think these games could have potentially made the top three, and I think they deserve mention that I actually have played them. So if you don't hear your favorite game mentioned in the honorable mentions, that either one, I haven't played it, which is the more likely thing, but two, it could just be I didn't enjoy it as much as you, and I didn't feel like it made my top games of that particular year. So I just want to say all that real quick, and we're gonna get right into it with 2021's honorable mentions. So I have 4 on here, which is a lot more than the one from last time, and this is in no particular order. It's just alphabetical. One of the first releases of 2021 I played was Cyber Shadow. It was a eShop only game. Yacht Club Games published it. I was like, after Shovel Knight, I was like, okay, like I kind of enjoyed Shovel Knight, not as much as other people did, but I was like, okay, it'll probably still be good, and I really enjoyed The Messenger, so I was like, okay, maybe it's kind of like that. It wasn't quite to those standards. I think it's a decent game, but I didn't think it was good enough to make my top three. Game Builder Garage also is a neat game as far as like concept and the idea of teaching people how to program stuff, and it was a lot of fun to go through all of the tutorials and build all the games. And then I tried building something on my own, and I didn't end up following through with it completely because I went for something really ambitious, and it didn't work out. But I really did enjoy my time with Game Builder Garage, even if it was a short amount of time. Halo Infinite. I didn't actually play the campaign, but I did play the free-to-play multiplayer, and I did enjoy that for a few months, and then I dropped off. It's similar to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. It's just free-to-play games. I just kind of go in that direction, and I just play it for a bit, and then I'm just kind of done. But I hadn't really played a first-person shooter in a while, and it was free to play, so and I enjoyed playing Halo 3 back in the day online, so I figured I'd give it a shot, and it was pretty fun. And then last, this was before I added an errata to my rules. This would have actually been number 3, Mario Party Superstars. I think this is probably my favorite Mario Party game. I think it does everything right as far as combining all the years of Mario Party, as far as mini games, and then there's not like a huge board selection from all of them, only from the first 3 games, which is probably what hinders it a little bit. But I think this will be a game that after Switch shuts down their online servers, because this game is online, which is a big appeal of it. But even after it shuts down the servers, I think this will be one that I will want to revisit again. So there's my honorable mentions for 2021. All right, let's go into bronze medal. My number 3, which is Mario Golf Super Rush. Uh, this might be a surprising one to some because you may have heard like bad reviews from people because it wasn't released as a complete game. I am a huge fan of the Mario Golf series. I've enjoyed every entry, some more than others. And this I have enjoyed a little bit more than a couple of entries in the series. Um, but I think again, it kind of boils down to it being very modern and very pick up and play. Um, it doesn't take a lot to learn how it plays. It's not too complicated, which some people didn't like compared to the older ones. But I thought it was just nice to be accessible like that. It did feel a little weak on launch, but after the updates with the new courses and a couple of the new modes, it felt to make it more complete. It's still not everything I wanted, especially after World Tour having so much customization with the Mii's. The story mode in the game felt like the weakest part, which was a big letdown because I really like the story modes of Mario Golf on the Game Boy Color and on Game Boy Advance. Those are great story modes. So it felt like kind of a back seat to the rest of the game, a bit of a letdown because people were excited to see a story mode in it. However, the rest of the game does shine. It's fun just to pick up and play a game. It's neat. The online just kind of works. It's not too finicky. And the ranked mode where you unlock costumes is, while the costumes weren't necessarily anything neat, it was something to keep me coming back every month to try and do. And I think this month will actually be the last of those costumes. Apparently, it's been data mined, but we'll see. Who knows? I think the game is probably done after this month as far as getting new content. But it's been a blast, and definitely one I will revisit after I've unlocked everything because I really enjoy Mario Golf. So. My silver medal, number 2. This is the first in the fan-made uh, games on here. This is the Faxanadu Randomizer, or Fuzzanadu Randomizer, depending on your pronunciation of that. This was made by Notlob or Notlobber, and I'm actually in the community for this. I found out about it last year. I believe it came out last year as well. As far as I probably should have asked him, considering I know him, but I didn't for the purpose of this. But I'm pretty sure it did come out last year. It's the first I heard of it, and it's really cool because Faxanadu is just one of my favorite games of all time, and this takes it and just it changes up enough to make each playthrough of it like compelling in a way that you want to try and finish it as fast as you can, get looking for those items. So many things have been added to it as far as like how you approach each seed, as they call randomized games, seeds. Like starting in different worlds, doors lead to different dungeons, items are all over the place, like in most randomizers. It's really cool. Definitely a fresh way to look at the game. I have a greater appreciation for the game now because of this randomizer. I've played it so much in the past, like this year and last year when it came out. So it's a great one to check out if you've ever played that game. You ever played Faxanadu and you wanted like, hey, I didn't know there was a randomizer for it. I definitely recommend checking it out. Definitely deserving of number 2 on this list. And then my gold medal, my game of the year for 2021, is Metroid Dread. I don't think this is a big shocker for Nintendo fans because this did come out of nowhere, this game, but it was really good. I could probably talk about every reason why it's really good. I'll say a few things, of course, but the atmosphere of Metroid Dread is just so cool, and the controls are just like it's the best Samus has ever controlled in a Metroid game, in my opinion. In a 2D Metroid game, I think it's the best she's ever played. The sliding is so cool. It's like one of the first things you can do is slide. They don't start you with the morph ball right away in the game, and you can slide, and it's like you don't even need the morph ball. Like they honestly, they could have left it out of the game, and it would have been fine. Just all the different movement options, just the melee combat. I know it's expanded on the Metroid 2 remake that I never played. Um, but it felt very new for me, all of these mechanics. I played this for the first time in the dark intentionally because I thought it would be like creepy, and it really was. It really added to the atmosphere of the game for me. I had only seen the initial teaser trailer for the game when they announced it. I didn't follow any of the other news, so I didn't know anything else that was in the game. So it was all a fresh experience for me. It was it was super cool. I've since gone back and played it a few times now. I beat it on hard mode. I did a run where I did a bunch of sequence breaks because they're in the game. There's developer intentioned ones, and there's not so intended uh, sequence breaks. It's really cool. If you're a Metroid fan, you've probably played this. If you're not, if you like the Metroidvania genre, there's a reason it's called Metroidvania. It's because they do it the best, and they did not disappoint with this entry. So there we go. There is 2021. I will see you next part for 2020. Thank you so much. I've been OdinSpack. Goodbye.